Hello there, it's Thursday the 19th of May 2016. Greetings, it's Chris Reardon and United Kingdom Talk, recording this particular little programme quite late at night, 12:30 at night, boys and girls. I'm just in from the quiz, which was quite nice this evening. Not too busy. I said, why have I moved that microphone away from me now? I said a couple of times now that everything seems to be quite quiet at the moment. You know, whatever night it is, it's sort of well down on what it is usually. Indeed, Tuesday, of course, itself, the karaoke we do on Tuesday night, that was quiet as well. But it was very, very nice to see Jess and James. Jess used to work at the Golden Line. She doesn't work there anymore. She's gone to a posh place, haven't you, dear? Posh, where it's 15 quid for a burger. 15 quid for a burger. Is that the vegetarian ones as well? I mean, how can you be charging 15? How can you be charging 15 quid for a bit of something made up from chopped up carrots and onions and peas and things, dear? Come on, 15 quid. Do you get chips with that as well? Or is that extra? And I bet you charge 5 pence for a tomato sauce, didn't you? God's sake, so lovely to see Jess and James. And I must say, it's lovely to see James. He's lost so much weight, Jess. Now, Jess has been going out with James for a while. And I want to know, how have you managed to lose so much weight? There must be a lot of exercising going down. There really must be exercise going on, rather. There must be a lot of, exercise going on. So keep exercising and looking happy. Lovely to see you both. Now, Jess was telling me she's got a new iPhone. I gather it's... actually, she sent me a message which I haven't read yet. Hang on a minute, let me see. Because I asked her what phone she's got now. She's got an SE, an iPhone SE, which is the one apparently after the 6 series. Now, my mate, he's got the big iPhone S. And you know, it looks really good, I must say. But to actually hold something like that would be a little bit of a pain, I think. So I think I'll stick to the same size I've got now. And I did ask you, Jess, actually, because I'm having a couple of problems with my iPhone at the moment, which may or may not be due to a Facebook update. With the Facebook live shows where we do the karaoke, and indeed we've been doing a couple of the quizzes as well, it keeps crashing. So you'll have your phone there, right? And it's broadcasting whatever you're doing. And all of a sudden it'll just stop. It will go back to desktop, whatever you call it on the phone. Desktop on the phone, you know? With all the icons. And then you can start it again, no problem. But for some reason it just crashes again. And it can do it after a couple of minutes. Or it can go for like an hour. And then all of a sudden, crash. And I don't know what's doing it. No idea what's doing it. Another problem I've got with my iPhone at the moment, and this is coming up on 3 years old, this one, is if I'm on a call and moving along in the car, coming through the Bluetooth thing, if for whatever reason the phone stops working, then I can't get it back working again without completely restarting the old thing. So I'm thinking it might be time for a new iPhone now. I don't know yet. I don't usually get the latest model because they're usually the really expensive ones. So I'm going to have a little think about that. But nice to see you both. Also, lovely to see Kiki, who turned up after I begged her, because I begged her on the Tuesday programme to turn up to our little karaoke night. And she did indeed come and sang a couple of nice songs. Excuse me, it's time for a sneeze. One moment, please. Oh, it's not going to come now. Dear me. The old hay fever is playing havoc at the moment. It really is. So it was nice for Kiki to come down, who bought me a little gift. I mean, oh, don't say we're going to have a 10 sneeze session. 1 minute. Let's blow some of that pollen out of our nose together. That's better. She bought me this little badge, which is a picture. I think it's... Did you say it was Neil Armstrong? Oh, it says CCP. Isn't it CCCP? Isn't that Russian? Is it Neil Armstrong? I'm not quite sure who she said that was, but there he is, an astronaut with a badge. So thank you very much for that, Kiki. And she also informs me, boys and girls, that in a previous show I told you I always have trouble getting inner tubes on the bike. Now, what I've done, as per the instructions on the inner tube carton from Halfords, it says that you have to carefully put the thing around the wheel and then ease the tyre back on with your thumb, with your fingers. And if you've got those levers, you know, those special tyre levers, which I do have, actually, if you can buy those, they're dirt cheap, and put them on with those. And I have a real trouble getting it on. Now, Kiki informs me that's not what to do. You put the inner tube inside the tyre, then put the tyre on, and then blow it up. And I think that's the right order. Or do you blow it up first a little bit? Ooh. Not sure. Kiki, if you're watching this, can you inform me? When you put the inner tube in the tyre, do you then put the tyre on, or do you blow it up a little bit so it takes shape? Just a little bit, mind. And then put it on. Oh, it's so... Kiki, next time I have a punter, can I bring the wheel in? And you look like you can do these sort of things. And then perhaps you could change it for me in the Golden Lion, in exchange for a glass of water. I mean, I can't be fairer than that. So thank you very much for the advice there, Kiki. Yesterday, I was very busy yesterday, so I didn't have time to do a video. But we went up the swimming pool yesterday. I met Ronnie up there. And I had my swim. And then when the governor, Trevor, is very good. I'll go swimming at the Hilton Hotel just up the road from here. I'm a member of that. It's not a massive pool, but it doesn't get too busy. Generally, it doesn't get too busy. When I say it gets busy, I'd be talking probably 8 people in there. Now, occasionally, when we have the school children on holiday, they come in as well. It's one of those things. I don't begrudge them the use of the pool. Just get out of my way, you know. But we afterwards, the governor Trevor came down, and he says, "Oh, the lights will go out in the changing room." Because we're doing some electrical work. Okay, fine. So we got out the pool, we went and had our showers, and sure enough, the lights were out at the time, but they had these emergency ones on, which are quite dim. Very seedy, dear. I mean, anything could have happened to me in that changing room, dear, and no one would have noticed. No one would have heard my screams. Maybe I wouldn't have screamed. Anyway, and I'm getting changed, and all of a sudden, I was having a shave at the mirror with a torch, and Ronnie was standing next to me having a shave at his mirror, and all of a sudden we heard a clatter, something being dropped, and ow! And I rushed, boys and girls, with my little towel around my petite waist. I rushed round the corner, only to see the electrician. But when I say boy, I mean about 28. You know what I mean? That's boy to me. Boy to me is anything up to sort of 30. So I rushed round the corner to assist the very good-looking electrician boy, who was holding his hand. I said, "You all right, mate?" He said, I just got a jolt off that. And he's holding this thing. He said, "It's only a battery." I said, "Oh, that's happened to me before." He said, "Well, what happened to you?" I said, "Well, I've unplugged things before. I've got this multi extension socket. It's got 8 plug sockets on it, and it's a surge protector thing, right? And I've unplugged that before and touched the pins and got a shock off that. So I think there must be some sort of capacitor or a battery in there." And I said, "Well, that's what it is. It's a battery." He said, "Well, it don't normally happen." So I went round and checked that he was okay. I said, "You sure? Do you want to sit down?" I mean, I didn't say on my knee or anything like that. I said, "Do you want to sit down for a minute?" He said, No, I'll be all right." I was concerned. Did you see how concerned I was for the welfare of another human being? I mean, if he was the same age as me, I probably wouldn't have bothered, to be honest. But I was concerned about the... Poor lad. Anyway, so after that, we came back here because I had to get something to send off to my sister. Now, I can't tell you what it is today, right? Because she might watch this, because my sister is an avid viewer, dear. Oh, yes. In between all the many little jobs that she does at her house, she is an avid viewer. Not sure if she watches the whole show in its entirety in one go, or just, a little bit here, because she's busy, busy, busy. At the moment, she's busy tending to her plants. They've got a polythene tunnel, which is like a frame in there, because they've got a big garden up there where they live in Lincolnshire. Like a frame like that with plastic over that she grows loads of vegetables and fruit and very successfully, I have to say. Now, I've tried to grow vegetables and fruit outside, and I can't lie to you, limited success. Very limited success. The one big success I had was with runner beans. Oh my God, they were so easy. I was giving them away in the end. I had so many of those runner beans. Tomatoes, they all got blight on them. This is a few years ago now, I think. Peppers, well, I've tried peppers a couple of times and they just don't seem to start. Now, I don't quite have a south-facing garden or anything like that, so that might be why that is. But she's very successful. She's got everything, carrots, cabbages, all this business. And, So she's a very, very, and she's got jobs, she's a carer for elderly people, goes around, and then she looks after the grandchildren. She does shopping for people. My sister is one of the hardest working people in the world. She really is. So I don't know if she watches the whole show in its entirety, but I cannot tell you yet until she has received the little gift that I've sent her up there. But to send it up today, so I picked this item. We call it an item. I picked it up from my house and I went up to with my mate, and he drove. First of all, we went to the bank to put my wages in from the night before. And then I went to DHL, the international network, to post that off. And I think we've sent that up, and Ronnie put a little present in for Evie, who is my great niece, who is 4 years old. A couple of weeks ago. So that was all well and good. And the DHL lady, she told us, which I didn't know before, that you can actually get Nectar points, Sainsbury's Nectar points, on your DHS sendings, which is good news, really. So I said to her, well, can I do the last one? Actually, have I got it here? I think I might still have that here. Oh, it might be in my... Oh, there it is. There's last time's one as well. So I think we can actually... She did tell us what to do. Where is it now? I thought she did tell us what to do. But apparently, yeah, you can get Nectar points by sending stuff on DHL. So I shall have to investigate that after I've spoken to you today. All right, boys and girls? Now, what else has happened? Oh, yes. So, before we got to DHL, right? So... while we were in my house, I was just about to pick up my bag, and I heard some noise outside, like sawing or something like that. I said, oh, Ron, I think they're going to cut down one of the trees, because I'm surrounded by pine trees here, and one of them was leaning over. So I thought they were doing that, so I ran round the side. Well, I ran, I walked fast around the side, because we can't run. That's not cool. Not cool. You speak to lads, and it's not cool to run, unless, of course, you're one of those athletes. They're all on drugs, aren't they, dear? We keep coming across athletes that are taking performance-enhancing drugs. Naughty, dear. Naughty. I don't have to take a pill when I'm going to the swimming pool, do I? Do we have to have all this in the sport? Anyway, so I walked round the side, and it was, in fact, people digging up the footpath over there. So what had happened? I know what's happened. Someone would have gone round with a white pen, a white bit of paint, and gone round there, and right, you've got to repair that bit. Now, I never understand, why don't they just resurface the whole bloody thing? But in the end, all you end up with is a patchwork for that bit being repaired there, but oh, God, and it just looks awful. Anyway, so they're doing that, so I said, oh, okay. I came back and I walked across the grass, being careful where I'm treading. Anyway, I didn't notice it. I got back in the car, so I'm sitting in the car, and I just happened to look down. Oh, no. Cat dirt on the end of my shoe. And I knew it was cat's because it was that light colour. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't my cat, Katie. Oh, no, dear. No, she has a cat tray now. She uses her cat tray, but it was cat dirt on the bottom of my shirt. I said, and I thought, what, shall I say something or not? At that point, Ronnie looked down. He said, what's that on your foot? I said, oh no, I was just about to tell you. I said, I'm very sorry. And his eyes started rolling. I said, I'll pay to have your car cleaned. At which point, of course, he jumped at that, dear. You know, the thought of 15 quid to have the car cleaned. So that's what we did. We took it, after we went to the bank and DHL, we went to Homebase, because they've got, you know, one of those car cleaning places outside. So we got it done there. But I didn't really do it properly inside. It all looks sparkly and nice on the outside. But I did get a free plant, because Ronnie said, oh, come on, come in Homebase, I'll buy you a plant. So I've got another plant. So I'm quite pleased about that. Actually, I might be going to the garden centre this afternoon, because today I'm going to go for one of my rare visits to the lovely Auntie Brenda, and I'm going to take her out for a meal, because she has a bit of a lonely life, to be honest. Her husband died a few years ago, and where she lives, it's like in the middle of nowhere. You know, no one walks past her house. Not like here. Well, actually, no one really walks past here either. But you can see other people. But if she's in the house, she doesn't see anyone. It's a very quiet road in there. So I'm going down to see her. We'll have a bit of lunch. And maybe we can go out to a garden centre as well. Because I like garden centres. And I think she will as well. I think she'd appreciate that. So that's what I might be doing today. Don't know if I'm going to take the camera on that, because I think sometimes it's a bit intrusive. We'll see. We might do it. What else have I got? I've been very naughty. Look what Ronnie bought me these. Now, I'm not eating at night at the moment. Once I've had my nighttime meal, I don't eat. So there's like a 12-hour gap. So if I have my main meal about 8 o'clock, I don't eat again until the next morning, about 9 o'clock for breakfast, when I have my lovely Scotch porridge oats. I've moved across now to proper Scotch, and because it's much thicker. You know, not like that instant porridge. You know, the one in packets. What's the Quaker Oats? The one in packets. It's a bit thin. You know, it's thin. Scotch porridge oats will make me big and strong. Well, I'm already big, but perhaps not strong. And I found these. They were sitting there, and I've just had 4 of these, and I'm so annoyed with myself. You know, 4 of these at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Pure butter shortbread. Very, very naughty indeed. So naughty. No birthdays today, really. I've had a look on the birthday list, and there's not much on there. So no one, I don't think, who watches this show. So no birthdays today. Last night at the King's Head Theatre Bar, we were testing out the Facebook Live thing again. But once again, it only got cut off once last night. But it was a test, and I wasn't keeping a little eye on the messages. When I'm doing a quiz, I can't keep an eye on the messages. I've got to give my full attention to the people playing the quiz. So there were a couple of messages here from Ray Reynolds, who puts the number of the message. Why is that, Ray? You put the number of the message there. Hello, Chris. Sound not very clear. That's much better. Perfect now. Message 3. Just went off. Message 4. Hello, you're back again. Message 5. Ray, you don't need to number your messages. It's okay. So thank you very much for all your messages. Joe as well, Ashley, and Shania. Hello, Shania. I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been, Shania? Chris Lotz would love to fly to my quiz night and get a drink. It is a good place. I do a quiz night every Wednesday at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street in Islington. That's 8:30 to 10:30. And it is, I have such a good night there. Although, I must say, they were all a little bit quiet. Everyone was sort of a bit quiet in there Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? You know, usually you go in a pub and there's a hubbub of noise. Well, there wasn't really a hubbub of noise in there, which was a bit odd, although it was very busy with people coming in and out of the theatre at one point. When we were just doing the quiz, everyone was so quiet. It was like they were listening. You could have heard a pin drop at one point. Very, very strange, dear. Very strange. So thank you for all your messages there, Chris. And maybe one day you can get over here, okay? What's the time? Oh, it's time to go. Time to go, isn't it? Thank you very much today, boys and girls. Have a lovely Thursday, and I'll see you again soon. If you want to put a message underneath, please feel free to do so, or you can send an email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Have a nice Thursday.